to talk about contenders. I thought that's where we were going, but do we want to talk about?
Oh, the bright side of life. All right, let's do
No,
the good.
Let's talk. It's good first, then the bad, and then
I love the draft. What can I
the
say?
hideous. But
I love
good teams.
I love the KBB.
Here's what I ask you: Cleveland, Boston, OKC. Is there another contender outside of that group?
There was until LeGroin showed up. LeBron having a 2-week injury could be nothing, could be something. Luka Doncic fucked up back again, hobbling. I thought the Lakers were presenting themselves as possibly the fourth team to that trio. But after the unfortunate injuries of this week, I would say they're on the outside looking in. I think it's those three teams. And Denver got whooped.
I think, with all due respect to your Knickerbockers, the local Cagers,
not a chance.
They've been haunted by their inability to beat good teams this year. And those are those kind of issues that, but those can sort of linger for a little while and they're anecdotal or they're weird. But it just is pretty consistent at this point. Like, you guys can't defend against teams who are good at scoring.
Promise not to go into the Knicks, but quickly, like my annoying.
You're like, all right, no more Philly or Knicks. I'm like, let's talk Knicks.
My annoying turkey's nest take, Rosemary's take is, I love Karl Anthony Towns. I like him better on the Timberwolves. In a chaotic game like we saw against the Lakers, I don't know, butterfly flapping its wings. I would really enjoy Hartenstein. I really miss Hartenstein and Dante DiVincenzo on the floor because they make great decisions. They are tenacious and they are unique kind of players. I love Cat. He's a really great top 15 player this year, but I just don't think they're the best versions of themselves. Them pulling the trigger on that trade, I was like, fair enough that he's the best player they've ever traded for ever. But this team is not a top tier team.
They have not showed the ability to elevate their game in the way that we see from Celtics, Cleveland, OKC. Like,
which is hard. Those are good teams, man.
And I'm saying really they sometimes lose. They sometimes lose too. They're not unbeatable, but you see them go to war, and you're like, all right, these are good teams.
Derek
these
White,
teams
man,
are really excellent. You know,
yeah.
Well, I got a great promising stat for you. When Mitch has been on the court, Mitchell Robinson with Karl Anthony Towns, the Knicks are plus 62 per 100 possessions.
I love it. Bring the chip, Canyon of the Heroes. Let's go. I love the addition of Mitch. It's going to be cool.
Now this is in 7 possessions.
Exactly.
3.5
Yo,
minutes.
I love that stat.
Caveat.
My eye test would say Mitch is not spry yet. He doesn't make up for his own mistakes quickly enough yet. He's kind of plodding, getting his sea legs back. Brunson going down with his injury, which could linger. That's a wrap. It's not even going to be deuce time. It's going to be a lot of campaign. It's going to be a lot of Shamet. It's just not. It's not a devastating. We're going to get bounced by the Pacers again. But I love this team, so I'm grateful.
Well, I would argue there is another contender out of that top 3.
Based off of, we're talking Houston.
I think Golden State.
I love it. They look awesome. I love it.
I think they're, I want to say 9-1, something along those lines.
Oh, it turns out adding a great player helps.
Those guys are all older. I believe in that team. I think Curry is still a nuclear option, and
he's been a top 10 player since Jimmy got into town.
It's funny that guys like Embiid, SGA, they get so much attention for their ability to draw fouls. Jimmy is next level. He's not even in the same like solar system as those guys when it comes to drawing fouls. It's it's just outrageous. His free throw rate, I haven't even looked it up. It's something like 75, 80%. It's bonkers. He is the biggest foul grifter in modern history in the NBA.
I have yet to check. What's his usage like? Did it go down since Miami? It has to, right? Because Curry's ending so many shots. I mean, plays.
I think it's about the same, just because they don't have a lot of other scorers, and he just sort of shifted in as their other option, besides Curry. I mean, overall, I think his usage is, hold on, not that we look things up on while we're recording.
Look at you reading like and Googling, man.
I'm not reading.
We got to really come through for the perfect pot.
Okay, his usage is slightly ticked up. How about that, Andrew?
I did not realize that, because I guess Hero is a Curry light.
He's shooting roughly the same, a little bit more, passing a little bit more. His numbers are essentially identical to Miami, except for the fact that he's shooting worse from the floor, shooting terribly from three, but his free throw rate is almost 70%.
I had the unfortunate incident a few weeks ago of falling down in front of my laptop and by accident bringing up YouTube and searching why the Golden State Warriors have not been successful this year. I had no choice. It just showed up on my screen as I was debilitated. And there were a lot of people breaking down Buddy Hield's performance and cast of characters they've had in and out. Your boy, Jonathan Kuminga, Trace Jackson Davis, a bunch of players who don't know where to stand and where to move to. Basically, we saw Curry just kind of with his head in his hands. Like, his frustration was visible, especially without Draymond on the court. And it wasn't because the shots weren't falling and they were just losing games. These players were literally standing and moving to the wrong places. So they would run plays and the plays would develop, and Buddy Hield would be in the wrong place. And then the space would just get all messed up and the defender was too close to Curry. You add a player like Jimmy Butler, perhaps the smartest player you can get at a trade deadline, who knows where to stand, who knows where to move to, who knows how to anticipate plays defensively and offensively. And then you get Curry feeling 5 years younger.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler has this reputation kind of for being a bad teammate because of the way he departs teams.
Sure. Like Kobe.
Oh, he's sitting out. He's humiliating people. Like, yeah. There's these issues within the team construct. But he is a wonderful basketball player.
Yeah, he's fucking.
The way that he passes the ball, he accepts responsibility when he's the best player on the court. Like, all right, it looks like I'm just going to have to get us some buckets. And a lot of people view this as wanting it more. I also think it's like the ability to do that. Like,
having the
without
choice
without going Sixers, but can Paul George just say, all right, guys, give me the ball. I'm taking this game over.
No,
I don't think he can, because Paul George can't draw fouls like Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler can take games over because he is incredibly hard to guard without fouling. Paul George, easy to guard without fouling.
Yeah. The Warriors window is this season. There's attention for Jimmy, but like these guys, it feels like this is Curry's, maybe this year or next year, this is Curry's the formation of Curry's last presentation, right? Like, I don't think they're going to get much better than this. They're not going to add a player. Hopefully they're rooting for Kuminga to turn into a more interesting, efficient guy. But is this the last version of the Curry Warriors we're going to see?